Welcome to CNTV. I'm Brad Clont.
And I'm Quin Tran. A Chickasaw High School student is at the top of her sport.
Reese Lawson is defending her state championship in girls wrestling. The wrestling season gets underway this month.
The high school senior connects with us from Salem, Oregon to talk about her start in wrestling, a sport that's now allowed her to travel abroad.
I love how competitive it is, and I like individual team sports because I don't like to have to rely on other people. I like to get stuff done for myself. My little brother grew up wrestling. He started wrestling when he was like 6 or 7, and I would always watch his practices. I'd go to all the tournaments, and I just like, that's really cool. I want to try that. And I begged my parents for a really long time to let me, and they're like, okay, but if you get hurt, you can't come crying to us. And then I tried to practice, and I loved it, and then I've wrestled ever since. The last few years, I've just improved so much. Just been wrestling year round, and I earned a state title this year, which is super cool. And then I got to wrestle in Africa, which was even cooler. And I've just gotten to do so many amazing things with this sport and meet so many cool people.
Well, let's talk first about that state championship. What did it take to win?
What it took for me was I just stay mentally focused. I have a really hard time with being mentally in it, which is tough for me, but I was mentally in it for that tournament, and I was super focused, and I had a job to get done, and I got it done. But it took a lot of late practices, 2 practices in a day, working out in the mornings with my dad and at night with my dad. Lots of just blood, sweat, and tears. But something that my dad's always told me that I always think about is hard work pays off. And my hard work definitely paid off.
You mentioned the opportunity to go overseas, to travel. Tell us about that trip.
It started at the state tournament after my match. Is an amazing coach. His name is Coach Simons. I've known him for a few years before this. Came up to my parents and I, and he was like, we really want you to come try out for this tournament. It's a team to go to South Africa. And we were like, what? South Africa? No way. And I was like, I talked to my dad. This was a few weeks before, and I was like, I'm not going to make the team. He's like, Reese, you should just go try, because it would be a once in a lifetime experience, and you'd have so much fun. I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I'll go try out. And then so I went to the tournament. I tried out, and I was 2-0 that tournament, and I won. So then we had months to prepare. But then in those months, I broke my collarbone, and I couldn't prepare very much. But I was so grateful that it healed in time. So then when came time for the trip, we left. It was 3 days of travel. And then we finally got to Cape Town, which was our first place we stayed at. We were there for a week. But while we were in Cape Town, we wrestled so much, and we got to visit townships, and we spent a day with orphans, which was so fun. Just seeing how happy some people could be with just so little. It's just so, makes you really think and wow, be grateful for what you have. Being Chickasaw is something that's been very big in my life and my grandma's life. We grew up going to Indian Ed schools where we'd learn about our tribes and stuff, but I've never met another person outside of our family who's Chickasaw here. But I've heard about it my whole life. I have great pride in it. I just know how much they do for us, and with sports, clothing, medical. I'm very appreciative and grateful for our tribe.
Reese is working hard to prepare for matches and also for college. She's hoping to earn wrestling scholarships at some universities.
Reese plans to major in business and Spanish. We'll keep you posted on her quest for another state championship title. November is National American Indian Heritage Month. At the Chickasaw Cultural Center, we learn about the Chickasaw people's history and culture. Enjoy activities, crafts, food, games, and cultural demonstrators. The Cultural Center celebrates Native American Heritage Day on November 4th, honoring the rich traditions and contributions of First Americans.
We're heading into the holiday season with Thanksgiving and then Christmas activities. Special events for Chickasaw elders are coming up. The annual Elders Thanksgiving celebration is on November 17th at the Pontotoc County Agriplex. Other holiday programs are set for the coming weeks, open to the public at venues in Chickasaw Country. Visit chickasaw.net for a list and details of the events. We want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving holiday with family and friends.
Enjoy the holiday. We'll see you next time on CNTV.